lovelies, it's been a minute or two. Thanks for coming back, and for those of you that are new to my channel, my name's Shirley. I haven't been around for a little while because, like most people, I've been enjoying coming out of lockdown and the restrictions and catching up with friends and family. And the weather has been really awful. Not very inspiring to make summer clothes. But I did manage to get a few little bits and pieces made, which I'll show you now. Some of you might recognise this, so you'll be screaming at the screen saying, it's such and such Shirley. But this is a pinafore, just one great big long tier. But there's also a dress version with little short sleeves. Now, I think I can remember, you can go the whole way button through, or as I've done, you can do just the bodice part button through. This is a washed cotton ramie, which I've had in my stash for a couple of years, and anyone that follows me on Instagram will know that I've recently tidied up and decluttered this room. And the nice thing about decluttering and tidying up and going through all your boxes is that you find fabrics that you've forgotten about. And this is an absolutely gorgeous colour. I think it's coming up on screen, quite true. It's a lovely sort of fuchsia, and it's actually, because it's such a nice weight, I think I can get away wearing it still in the autumn, with a t-shirt underneath, whilst we still got that sort of warmer weather, because it's not cold yet. Now, I had tried on a previous one of these, because I made one a couple of years ago in the same fabric, tried to buttonhole it, but it's quite an open weave, and when I came to trying to buttonhole it, even though I'd done all my usual stabilisings on the top, I use tearaway embroidery stabiliser normally when I do buttonholes on the top, as well as the interfacing. It just kept chewing it up. I didn't like it. I've got loads of poppers in my stash, so I ended up poppering that. I will put up proper photos of this when I come to edit the video. So that's the first one I've done. Then I got some gorgeous fabric from the lovely Andrea at Beyond the Pink Door, and I made two tops. The first was this one, which is my duped sagebrush top, with little, what I did with this one, they're elbow length sleeves, and I just put 3 rows of shearing. And then at the back, it's not tied, but I did a little keyhole, and it's just a little bit of width, just to skim over, well, not quite skim, just a little bit more than skimming. This is a beautiful fabric. It is a viscose cotton mix, which I've never used before, and it has, on washing it, I just steam this. I just press the hem, but I've steamed it because it's ever so slightly seersucky, and the colours are just stunning. And I thought, this is out of stock now, because this was, I bought this early summer, but I bought this not just for summer, because it's quite a lightweight fabric, and I mean, hot colours are really good in the summer, but they're also quite autumnal, so either jeans, cardi, and this when it's cooler, or even under one of my denim pinafores. So that's that. Again, I'm going to put some more, I will put pictures up. Then, very pretty, this is, now I am a bit organised here, I have a dress pattern. Anyone that's been following me, my lovely beloved McCall's 7948. All I've done is use the bodice and the first tier of the dress, and made myself this little beauty in the most gorgeous broderie anglaise. Again, I'll put photos up of me in this so you can get a better view. But I had to buy this, again from Andrea, Beyond the Pink Door. I will put her details up. this I don't think will be in stock either, because again it was an early summer purchase, but I had to buy this fabric because she named it Emmy and my mum's name was Emmy, so it sung to me. I hadn't intended to buy any broad yarn glaze because I do have a few pieces in my stash already, but had to be done. And then the last make, the Trials and Tribulations, and they're still not perfect, but they're good enough for now. And I've got another pair cut out, and they are, where are we? The Dawn jeans, which are made from a rigid denim. I can't remember where I got this, but it's an 11-ounce denim, which is perfect. But the Dawn jeans, I think that's the sort of cropped, I don't know what leg they call that, and then there's the shorts. And then I have, oh, this is the instruction book, but there's a straight leg version. They're high-waisted. If you don't know the jeans already, I had never ever, I've made lots of trousers before and I've perfected my trousers, the fit, but most of those trousers tend to be sort of, I don't like too wide a leg, but not fitted around the sort of waist and, well, they are fitted on the waist, but around the tummy, because they'll have, normally I like to do pleats on the front of my trousers, so that sort of style of trouser. First time in, I've sewn clothes for 40 odd years, but it's the first time I've ever done jeans. This comes with a button fly, but I didn't want to do the button fly because of all the buttons sticking out if you're wearing a slightly more fitted top. Went on to the Megan Nielsen website to there's a blog that tells you how to convert it into a zip fly. Didn't really find that very helpful. Had a little Google and found the last stitch. Now I can't remember her name, but she had within her blog, not on YouTube, but she did have a video embedded on her blog on how to do the zip, and the filming of that tutorial, absolutely excellent. You could see every single step, and the explanation of everything was absolutely, I can't praise that tutorial enough. I had it on my Mac, which is next to my sewing machine anyway, and I was just doing it step by step, and I did not go wrong, and I did the most perfect, if I do say so myself, zip fly. Now I did do a self on self, because I wanted to keep these, even though they're a lighter colour denim, I did do a self on self top stitching. But let me get closer, so that is the fly. Can you see that? Is that coming up nicely? I caught the denim somehow, so it's pulled. But if you look, oh, so you've got the, look at that. How beautiful is that? And the inside. Now, I could say, oh, it's my sewing skills. Oh, but it really wasn't. It was her tutorial. It was magnificent. And she, especially if you're going to top stitch in a contrast colour, she shows you how to do the top stitching all in one step, so you're not stopping and starting and possibly getting any missed little spaces where you haven't got the stitches lined up to do the next bit, or even doubling over. Because when you're using a top stitch thread, or you're doubling up your thread, you don't want that to happen. But I have to say, out of everything on these jeans, that is the best thing. Now the buttonhole, oh dear, that's a bit of a mess. I ended up hand stitching it. Now my machine, I've got an Elna, it's well, they call it a semi-professional machine because it's a heavy duty machine. Love it. And buttonholes, you know, on normal fabric, fine, perfect, but it just wouldn't have it because I just couldn't get the buttonhole foot even, and it's a specialist buttonhole foot, so it's really long. So I did do some searching. So I did some searching on Google, trying to figure out how to sort of get this buttonhole to work, but couldn't find anything sort of useful, if anything at all. But what I did find was, this is the strangest little thing. I haven't even opened it yet. Well, I'll show you. I haven't opened it, but it's this. It's a two-piece device, and it's called, where's my specs? A buttonhole stabilizer plate. And what that is supposed to do, it goes underneath the buttonhole and somehow manages to keep the buttonhole foot straight. Don't know if it works. I haven't tried it yet. As I said, it's still on its packaging. But anybody that has, it's the R foot. Anyone that has the R foot on either a Janome or an Elna, because Janome own Elna these days, so they share the same parts. If you have an R foot on your Janome, maybe this is something to try. I got this one from So Essential. So that's that. Quite expensive. It's a little bit of plastic and a little bit of metal, and I think that was about 25 quid, so not cheap at all. But back to the jeans. So coin pocket and other pocket, did all the old jean rivets, and then the back pockets, I kept them plain. I didn't really want to, I had thought about embroidering, but because I wanted to keep these fairly smart, I've just got some loose threads. And then I had some, this was a shirt I made for Carl when we went to Thailand a few years back for my boy's wedding. I got sort of what I thought was holiday appropriate fabric to make the old, I always want to call them gay shirts. They're not gay shirts. What are they called? You'll know what I mean, with the little collar and the bowling style type holiday shirt. So I made him a shirt out of this particular fabric, and then I didn't use it. Called for using denim on the inside and also stabilizer, and I didn't actually stabilize it at all and decided to use the cotton because I just didn't want a really thick, heavy waistband. And then they're just ever so, they're not quite a straight leg, they're ever slightly tapered. But what I will do is, again, I will put pictures on. Now I did 6 toiles of these to get the fit right on my bottom. Normally I've got on trousers, I've got the fit perfected. On these, because they're fitted everywhere, it seemed to affect everything, and I'd get one thing right and then it put another thing out. I've never ever had to scoop out on the pattern on the back piece of the pattern for the crotch, but it would seem I've got a low swung bums. It's dropping with age. They are nice to wear. They are nice to wear. And I made it. Oh, that was the other thing I did. I made these. I did it sort of an in between a 14 and a 16, and I did a tummy adjustment. I only do like a little, it's about ½ an inch tummy adjustment, but what that's then done is put out, I've got a bit of too much fabric at the bottom because it's just too much length from underneath where the zip is to the crotch. When I take some photos, I'll show you what I mean. So what I've done this time is I've gone, because although these fitted on within about 5 minutes of wearing, they started to stretch out and were too big. And I wasn't wearing a belt, but they just felt a bit loose. And, you know, that sort of, you want to sort of hike them up. It wasn't as bad as that, but I had that sort of feeling. So what I've decided to do, I've cut them out now. I got some black denim, which I was a bit disappointed with because I thought it was going to be really, really black, and I thought it was sold on Etsy as a 10 ounce, but it's more like somewhere between a 6 and an 8 ounce, but it'll do for a, I don't like the term wearable toile, it's either a toile or it's not, but it's another practice piece, and hopefully they'll be okay. They won't be warm enough for winter because the denim's too thin, but maybe when, you know, when we have some warmer days, then they'll be fine. So I'm going to see how they go, and I've gone straight for a straight 14 this time, and I've not done a tummy adjustment. I've just done a little rise adjustment in the back and the front, and that's it. So that's the jeans. Now I've started a Christmas stocking for my latest grandbubba was born in January this year. It's a bit of a family tradition where I make, well, everyone, especially when we get new family members, a Christmas stocking. I've got a semi-professional big standalone Brother VR embroidery machine, which doesn't get used as often as I would like, but it's nice to have it. It was a special present to myself, so it's nice to have it, and it'll be there till I put my clogs. But I make personalised quilted Christmas stockings, and then the white cuff of felt is where the name will go with and I've got some Christmas fonts, you know, some elfy type cute fonts. So I shall be making a Christmas stocking. I've already made a start. Now normally I do what's called quilt as you go, but I got this lovely fabric from the lovely Alison from Creating Colour. I'll put her details below. She does sell some dressmaking fabrics, but her jam, if you like, is bag making. She makes bags and purses, and she makes the most beautiful bags and purses. So she sells a lot of quilting cottons, and they're all the nice makes, Alexander Henry and Cafe Facet, I shouldn't say Cafe, Cafe Facet, Alison Glass, I can't remember the other one that does the lovely cone flowers, but she sells the most beautiful, the nice high-end quilting cottons. And I saw this, and because they live in Australia, I thought this was just so appropriate. I've already quilted it. I've done it 2 ways actually. I'll just take these pins off. I've pre-quilted the fabric already, and it's just a template, it's just a pattern that I've just drawn, and I've kept it forever, so I've always got it. But I've pre-quilted the fabric, and I've done it 2 ways. I just had an experiment. I'm going to use both pieces because I don't want to waste it. You get a different look, but can you see, look, there's some sloths, and there are sloths fabrics in his nursery. But of course you've got the flamingo, which is a bit tropical. I mean, and the llama. That llama's not tropical, but and dinosaurs aren't tropical. But it was just so cute. But look how different that looks. Now I've done that diagonally, but if you look at the other side where I've gone down and I've used, I mean, I've not been precise with the quilting. As you can see, it's not quite straight, but I've gone down that way, and I don't know about you, but it seems to show up the sloths more. But I'm actually preferring that side as the front, so that's going to be the front of the stocking. So that is almost done. All I've got to do is sew up the stocking, make a lining. I always line them, I think it's nicer, and do the embroidery. If you're interested in seeing the embroidery, how it's done, from computer to putting it on to the embroidery machine, let me know in the comments below, because I shall film it anyway, so that if you are interested, I can always put it up, or I'll, if there isn't that so much interest, I'll still stick it on Instagram anyway, as well, I think they're stopping calling it Instagram telly, but Instagram video I think they're calling it, so I'll put it up there. So that's that. It's the only thing I sort of started making, but I have been doing some cutting out, and the first thing I've cut out was to say I've done some more oops, that's my glasses. I've done some more Dawn jeans, and it's this is the denim. Now you see, this is, it's a bit, I wanted a really, really midnight black. Didn't want any white in the denim. It looks quite dark, but I mean, this is just the scrap that's left. But I don't know if you can see, it is quite thin. I don't suppose you can see that. So that's, I've cut another pair of Dawn jeans out in that. Everything's falling down. Yeah, that's oh, there we go. The next thing I've cut out is a it's a crossover front. I've looked at, I've seen this a while ago. I don't think it's new, and I have never ever sewn from itch to stitch patterns. I know they're really popular. I see a lot of YouTubers have made itch to stitch patterns. I think we've got Karina from Lifting Pins and Needles and Whitney from, oh, I can't remember her YouTube channel name, but I know they've used itch to stitch patterns, and my lovely friend Lynn has used itch to stitch. I never have. So I had a little, I was having, you know what it's like when you're in bed on a night. Hubby's downstairs doing the old gamey, and I'm in bed catching up on Instagram and having a little browse on the interweb at fabric and patterns as us sewists do. And this is the one, which I thought was really interesting because it's crossover, and it's obviously done in a heavier weight fabric, like a light, well, you could do it in a heavyweight fleece, but what I mean, it's not t-shirt weight, it's in a sort of like a terry weight or a lightweight sweat. That's called the Orono, and I thought it was just interesting. I don't know if you can see, there are pockets here in the side. I've opted not to put the pockets in, only because of where they come, and I just thought they'd make my tummy that I have maybe look a little bit bigger. I had to take it up, not take it up, but reduce the length, which is really unusual for me because I'm long in the body and I usually have to add length. And so, as you can see, there was quite, where you fold up, when anyone that's has to reduce the length of patterns will know that you obviously fold them up, but you get this weird thing going on. So there's a lot of truing going on, but I think I've done okay. So I'm going to make it out of this gorgeous, oh, I've been ogling this for the longest time. I don't stash winter weight fabrics or bottom fabrics. I stash viscose and cotton lawns, but not bottom weights. I buy them as the season comes, and this has been around for the longest while. There's several colourways. I have got the other colourway, but there are several colourways, and it's a sweat fabric. I don't normally wear sweat fabrics because I do run hot, but it's a really lovely, if you can see, fine weight sweat, but it's so beautifully soft. So that is that. And did I say first for fabrics? Yes. I think the next thing I'm making, I've got to get the picture for you, but another first for fabrics purchase. This is lovely organic cotton with elastane t-shirting. Isn't that beautiful? It's just so pretty. I can't do twee, but I think this is as sort of florally as I can get. But it's just such a pretty colour and so nice for winter. I do like colour in the winter, and talking about colour, there's lots of rich colours around this season. I was reading that the designers, because of lockdown, everybody sort of being at home, possibly wearing sweats and sort of leisurely type joggy bottoms, whatever, and they tend to be in the more muted colours or possibly even the navies. The designers have just gone crazy, and it's lots and lots of rich colours, your beautiful teals, your rich turquoises, your reds, your purples. I know we tend to go for the winey sort of colours in the winter time, but it's the vibrant version of dual colours, and this is it was just so, it just spoke to me. And the red is really, really cheerful. And I've got the turquoises in there, which are right and seasonal. So what I'm doing with that one is the Tessuti pattern. It's a free pattern, and that's the Mandy Boat Tea, which has the boat neckline, which I really like. I find that really flattering. And it's drop shoulder. Oh, it's a grown on drop shoulder to here, I think it is. And then the sleeve. So I'm looking forward to that. And then I've got some other fabrics which I haven't got definite plans for. Oh, the other thing which I have got cut out is the Megan Nielsen Acacia knickers. It's been with us sewists, my friends that I've got, how do you put it? My sewing virtual friends all seem to be making these. And the lovely Andrea, I think, from Brown Pink Door got me onto this pattern. Free download. You just have to sign up for their mailing list. And I haven't made them yet. I went with Lynn at Old Soul, if you follow her on Instagram. We did a little trip. It was a little birthday trip in, it was the end of August, beginning, no, it was beginning of September, something like the 5th of September. We went up to the Goldhawk Road in London to go fabric shopping, which was really nice. First trip on a train since lockdown. The tubes were really quite quiet, which was nice. London Underground want you to wear masks, which is fine, but it wasn't crowded or busy. Not the usual and sweaty armpits and things. It was really very pleasant. I got a seat for all my journeys on the tube. But we went up the Goldhawk Road. It was a little, I didn't have lots of hope, because I thought there might be fabrics that just weren't going to be for me. Did see a lot of polyesters and such like, and that's just, I don't do polyester. Lots of beautiful suiting fabrics, and I'm cross with myself because I want to make a blazer, and I was only inspired to do this. It was on the way back to Charing Cross, and there was a girl stood up in front of me, and she had the jeans on with the Birkenstocks, little blazer, boyfriend style, and she looked lovely, and a little black, not black, little red Chanel style crossbody bag across her, and I got inspired. So I do want to get some nice wool suiting fabric to make a blazer properly. I want to do real tailored blazer where you hand, I forget the name of the stitch now, to get the lapels to sit correctly. But that's going to be one of my slow sewing projects for the winter. Just got to find the fabric, but I'm cross because there was this beautiful, beautiful Italian Hugo Boss suiting fabrics there, and if I'd known, Lynn went prepared. She had a list. She knew what she was going to make, so she got lots of fabric. Unfortunately, given that even though it was September, there weren't any winter fabrics. It was still all the summer fabrics, but I did find some nice linen, which I'll show you in a minute, some Italian linen, to make a shirt. So I didn't spend that much on that, because getting back to the knickers, I got two lots of, from two different shops, bamboo fabric, some white bamboo fabric and some black bamboo fabric, with the intention of making t-shirts. Then after the trip, this got mentioned, the acacia knickers, and I thought, oh, I'm going to have a little practice, because I got 3 meters of each, so I had plenty, because I had to buy 3 meters, because the more you bought, the cheaper it was. So I've got those cut out, ready to do. What I did, I'm a big knicker girl. I'm a as Sam from Frugalissima has now named me Bridget Jones, because I like a big knicker. And the reason I like a big knicker is twofold. One, I've got the pooch, that I've had 3 gynae surgeries, and anyone that's had gynae surgeries will know that you get the little shelf. I've got more of a larder going on, and I can't wear. And so there's that. There's 3 scars there. So even though they're very old now, it just irritates, and I just like my tummy enclosed. I want to make sure it's not gonna flop over the knicker. So what I've done is I extended the pattern up. I've got a pair of my trusty Marks and Spencer's knickers, and then just put that against the pattern, and just went up. And I've got some elastic. I'm going to get some. I wanted to try to make some with the elasticated lace across the top. I got some Pico elastic. I was recommended by quite a few knicker makers. Again, Lynn, my old matey, who said get the Pico elastic because the fold over elastic it's thicker, so maybe not as nice to wear and a little bit more difficult to control. So that's on the card. This is the fabric I got from Goldhawk Road, the Italian linen. And I don't think it's going to show up here, but it has. We can see it in the selvage parts. It has a lilac tone. Now this, do you know what? I would never ever have gone for a colour like this in a million years. But I get inspired by all sorts of things. Watching the news with all the Afghan stuff, and it was really upsetting, but it inspired me, and I just had visions of the sort of like the crumply sort of shirt that you'd wear in sort of tropical weather, in that sort of, in that journo type thing. So this actually spoke to me because it's crumpling now as I've moved it. That was not like that 5 minutes ago, and it's got a little bit of you can't, I don't know if you can see that, but that sort of funny thing going on is actually, it's a textured linen. So it with each of the stripes there's texture. So I thought for this one I was going to make, I've had this pattern in my stash for years and years, and where are we? Here we go again. So not organised. Here we go. The Quinn shirt. And I liked this because of the way the placket finished at the bottom. And it's got just a nice little collar. And it's just, I think, a perfect shirt to go with linen. It's not even traced. I've had this, 5 years, I think, 4 or 5 years. So I'm going to make that using this. So that's that. Then, I think a Mandy Boat tee for this, because I don't want to break it up. It's another cotton elastane jersey. And those of you that know me know that if there's a print that's got a big cat in it, preferably a leopard or a cheetah, I have to get it because my mum they were her most favourite animals. But I got this, and it's on a very, very dark well, it's not khaki green, no, I think it's actually black. It is black, but because of these dark leaves, it makes it green. But look at that. Is that not the most gorgeous face? So that is most probably going to be a Mandy Boat tee. Then the fabric that I showed you earlier on, this is one of the other colourways, again from First for Fabrics. It is beautiful, and even though it's light and you think, oh, is that a bit summery, it goes with that winter white vibe, do you not think? So I'm going to do for that something nice and simple, another one of my all-time favourites, and that is semi-organised here. I am semi-organised. The Nina Lena South Bank, but I'm not going to do the frock I'm going to do the middle version. That's such a nice length, and the fit is nice, not too clingy, not too baggy, and because it's got the drop shoulders, it just gives it that sort of cozy look. That's my all-time favourite dress. That, absolutely love it. I've got 3 of them already, 2 in the cable knit Ponte that has been around for the last few years. I've got 2 colours of that. I made one last year in a pink and black animal print, and I want to make more, not just the jumpers. And then oh, this is Andrea again. This is sold in quite a few outlets, or fabric very similar to it, but it's a double knit, so it's got got a stripe on one side and sort of dotty print on the other. I think it's got viscose in it, but it doesn't matter. I think it's viscose. It's not cotton, but it's beautifully soft, and it's not too heavy a weight. And what I thought of doing, I bought this. I got this off Andrea last year. No, not last year, beginning of this year. And that's the Liège sweater. And I've seen quite a few people make it, but the sleeves have been lost because they've either made in a very, very busy fabric, or they've made it in a plain fabric. And what I thought of doing with this one, I mean, I've got more than enough. Oh, and there's a couple of lengths of this, and oh, and neck variations. I hadn't realised that. There you go. So you've got you can either put a little roll neck or have it as, it's not quite a boat neck, but it is quite a wide neck. And then there's the 2 lengths. There's a slightly longer length, or the cropped. I won't do the cropped. I could wear it with my high-waisted trousers that I have, but I shall do the normal length, but I won't. That'll just go to sort of not high hip, but hip, proper hip. So it just covers my tummy, but it's not too long. You've got to be careful when you've got long body and little legs. If you make something too long, it just makes you look really, really dumpy, and as though you've got 2-inch legs. But I thought that and this, if I don't think I want to mix the two, because I don't want to, because I'm just a bit worried about it being a bit clowny. But what I did think was that if I did it stripy side out, then with the sort of angles of those seams, you would actually get to see the detail in the seam, because obviously the stripes would be sort of doing all this stuff. But I do quite like the spotty too, so I just thought I could use that for the cuffs and the I think I'll do the roll neck. I'm getting a bit bunged up. I'm sorry if I'm sounding a bit nasally. I think it's all this fabric. But I thought I could use the stripy side for the roll neck bit. But that is what I'm going to use that one for. And I think that's it. Right, Clubhouse. I'll tell you a little bit like that. Clubhouse is well, it works through an app on your telephone. You have to use it on a phone or a device that has phone connection. So if you have a tablet, an iPad that's got phone connection, or a tablet with a SIM card in it, that can be used as a phone, then you can have Clubhouse app. It's Clubhouse Audio, and it's a free app. I host it, and my lovely friend Lynn from Old Soul on Instagram is my partner in crime. But essentially, what it's about is it's an audio app, so you don't have to dress up, you don't have to put your slap on. We've had guests who've done that, who've dressed up thinking they're going to be on show. And of course it's audio only. The only thing that comes up is a little picture, the same sort of thing that you have on Instagram or Facebook. Your little picture comes up, but essentially what it is we have a sewing club within the clubhouse format. Anyone's free to come and join the club. I always put out a story the night before to say, right, you know, club's happening tomorrow, and I put something on my Instagram post on the day, and there's always a link in my Instagram bio. But essentially you can come along and you can sit and listen whilst a lot of us join in the conversation. I'd rather you join in the conversation, partly because, you know, it's not about me yakking and yakking and yakking, although I love to talk. People that know me will tell you I love to talk. It's about everyone joining it, everyone communicating what they like, and it is a community. We're all sewists, we're all, of all ages, all backgrounds. It is nice. It's only small. We have, I mean, there's a lot of members, but on a regularly it's about 15 to 20 people, and to be perfectly honest, that's enough. If you already know Clubhouse and you've gone into some of the other rooms, they're so big that you don't get a chance to say your bit. But ours is literally a little room where we all come together, we talk sewing. But if it does sound like something you'd be interested in, please do join in. We don't bite. We love it when we get new faces, and we love it when we hear different things to talk. I've had so many nice people pop in. If you do want to have a chat and have a little listen, it's a bit like an interactive podcast. They're not recorded, so you can't listen after the fact, although now, just very recently, they've added a facility where you can record little snippets at a time. Oh, I forgot to say what I'm wearing. This fabric I got a long time ago now, from a seller on Etsy. I got it because look, see, that's the other thing. I love birds, sort of little hummingbirds, and this is the McCall's dress pattern that I showed you earlier on. Even though it's it's loop back terry, but even that, I just use that, and I'll stick a picture up, it's easier. And then I have got I love these jeans. Even though I wanted to make some smarter, I don't like doing that, but smarter jeans with zips and things, and not stretchy. These are a pull-on jean. They're not a jegging. They are not a jegging. They're a pull-on jean from Style Art with the Blakely jeans, and they have a faux fly, faux pockets, proper back pockets, and a really nice deep waistband. There is elastic in it, but it's a really nice deep waistband. I will, as I say, I will put some pictures in. Really, really comfy. The first pair I made, I actually narrowed them into be quite. They're not a skinny, but they're as near as damn it a skinny. But the second pair that I made as it well. I slimmed the legs because I've said so many times before. I always have to take them in. But these are really, really nice. They do require a 30% stretch denim. The second pair that I made, which I love, I made from a modal cotton mix denim that I got from Fabric Godmother, which is beautiful. It's really nice to wear. Right, that's it. I'm going to wrap up because I've been here for ages. I'm going to have to make this a two-part. Nice seeing you again. See you soon.